start for Khorfakkan. Scores with ease. Morte must be. It is. It's 2-0 Khorfakkan. Nasr have the breakthrough. Header into goal.
It is a goal. Wonderful.
Bean. What a finish.
Opportunity comes, and it's a wonderful goal.
The near post and it's in.
Coming into the far post. What a finish that is.
Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, we are back. The first final score of the brand new season. The Adnoc Pro League kicked off this weekend with match week 1. So that means we are back. We've had a tough pre-season in training, but we're feeling fit, we're feeling ready, and the whistle has gone on the new season. Joining me as always on Final Score and throughout the season is, of course, my two squad members here in the studio. The living legend of UAE football himself, Ibrahim Diaki, and the walking encyclopedia of UAE football, Pedro Correa. Welcome, gentlemen. We'll get to you shortly, but we have a lot to get through. It's been a terrific start to the season, so let's take a look for the first time at the stats after match week 1 of the season. 7 games played so far. We've already had 19 goals, which is a terrific return for the first match week of the season. No goalless draws. Let's hope that continues. 2.7 goals per game. 4 teams kept clean sheets. Top scorer, Omar Kribin. He'll be there or thereabouts as usual when we get to the Golden Boot Award at the end of the season. And top assist, Hugo Neto from Al Wasl. Okay, so let's take a look at the results that we're going to go through tonight. Shabab Al Ahly, defending champions, of course, making Al Dhafra's first game after being promoted to the Adnoc Pro League. A little difficult, Shabab Al Ahly winning comfortably 2-0. Sharjah 3-1 away winners at the other promoted side. Dibba Al Ain 2-1 win at home to Al Bataeh. Al Nasr a narrow, but it was a win. 1-0 away at Kalba. Al Wahda 2-0 away at Ajman. Khorfakkan with perhaps the surprise result of match week 1, winning 3-2 at home to Al Jazeera. And Al Wasl beating Banias by 2-0. That was our live match of the week. We were pitch side for that one. So it's only the first week, but let's take a look at the table already. It's only really being worked out by goal difference, that kind of stuff at the moment. But officially, Sharjah are top. Al Wahda, Wasl, Shabab Al Ahly, Khorfakkan, Al Ain, Al Nasr, all with the perfect start to their new seasons. The other end of the table, Al Jazeera, Bataeh, Kalba, Dibba, Al Dhafra, Ajman, and for now, and only for now, Banias propping up everybody else. So, before we get into the weeds on the games, gentlemen, welcome to a brand new season. And Ibrahim, it's shaping up already. We're going to talk about these games, but just in general, with all the changes, the influx of new players, new coaches, lots of games to come for all the sides. It's a terrifically exciting prospect this season.
Yes, Graham, it was a great start of the league for the season Adnoc Pro League 25-26. We've seen a lot of great action and some surprises also. But I'm very, very impressed with looking at the statistic of the league. You will see it. Most of the teams that played won the game this week. The ball possession for them was around 50-50. And that's really strange and impressive how they could win the game with that. So we have a lot of things to talk about.
I mean, it's busy. I was talking about pre-season, joking about it earlier, but it has been busy for all of these teams. Al Ain, of course, were on the global stage at the FIFA Club World Cup. We've already had intrigue and excitement this match week. We've already lost a manager. It's, as I say, shaping up to be a special season ahead.
I think it will probably, Graham, be the most interesting season ever in the Adnoc Pro League. It's shaping up, as you say, to be that. Al Ain barely had no break in between last season and this season. It's pretty much almost the same season. From this first round, No draws, as you mentioned. No draws at all. No goalless or with goals. No draws at all. And many goals coming in from set pieces or follow-ups. This, I think, it will be an important data to retain for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, we're going to go through every single game that took place in match week 1. But before we do, here's a quick reminder of what happened. Every goal from the opening day of the Adnoc Pro League. The new Adnoc Pro League season kicked off with all 14 teams full of optimism for their campaigns. Champions Shabab Al Ahly have a busy season ahead both domestically and also abroad with the AFC Champions League Elite, but they started their season with a 2-0 win at promoted Dibba. Guillaume Bala and Rehan scored both the goals in the first half and they kept a first clean sheet of the season. Like so many clubs, Al Nasr have a new head coach. Slaviša Jokanovic was the manager at Fulham, Watford and Sheffield United in England, but he started life in the UAE with a narrow 1-0 win at Kalba, thanks to Gustavo's goal in the 56th minute. Sharjah now have Milos Milosevic at the helm after he guided Al Wasl to league and cup success 2 seasons ago. He got an opening day win with a 3-1 away victory at the other promoted side Dibba. Kamara, Ben-Ami and Sultan Al-Sadi opened their goal-scoring accounts, with a consolation goal for Dibba coming from Mahmoud Al-Mahdi. Al Ain too got 3 points on the board on day 1. They began the new season at home against Al Bataeh. Last season's top scorer, Kojo Laba, picked up where he left off with the opening goal. Ganiev replied for Al Bataeh after 69 minutes, but the game was won for Al Ain by Traore's goal with 8 minutes to go. Perhaps the most surprising result of match week 1 came at Khorfakkan, where they held on to beat Al Jazeera. They were 2-0 ahead after an hour, thanks to goals from Lorenzi and Boa Morte, but Al Jazeera levelled thanks to 2 strikes from Nabil Fekir. But on 81 minutes, Tissoudali scored what turned out to be the winner for Khorfakkan. Al Wahda beat Ajman 2-0 with both their away goals coming from the ever-reliable Omar Kherbin. And finally, Al Wasl, now with Portuguese head coach Luis Castro at the helm, got an opening day win at home against Banias. Adrielson put them ahead in the first half, but then Pedro Majero scored an early contender for goal of the season to ensure all 3 points. So lots of action and intrigue to go through. As I said, we have lost our first manager. We'll get to that in a second. But let's start with the defending champions, Shabab Al Ahly, almost all conquering last season. And they start their new season with a comfortable win. Ibrahim, 2-0 against Al Dhafra. And Al Dhafra, obviously newly promoted. They have been in the Pro League before, but a couple of seasons out. So they were sort of put to the sword early on in the season against the champions. It was kind of what we were expecting, but it was still a good performance from Shabab Al Ahly.
It was a great performance from Shabab Al Ahly. It wasn't an easy game for them because Dhafra came very well organized. They started the game in the very compact, in good occupation in the field. And but what I like about Shabab Al Ahly, the consistency. They will always play for that win, for the 3 point. And for the start of the league, I think taking the first 2, it was not one of the greatest games, but I think what was more important for them is to gain that confidence from the beginning, taking the 3 point against Dhafra. But Dhafra did a good game. If you check the statistic, 55% for Shabab Al Ahly and 45% for Dhafra. You can see there the level of competitivity that was there in that game.
It was interesting in the post-match interviews, the Al Dhafra manager, one of many new managers this season, he was saying how he was impressed with his side, actually, the way they tried to cope, but he was also hugely impressed with Shabab Al Ahly. He said they were even better than he was expecting them to be.
Because Shabab Al Ahly played with the same starting 11 they played most of the times last season, 1 or 2 small changes, but mostly it was the players know each other quite well at this point in time, which is not easy at the start of the season. A team like Dhafra, for example, with so many new players coming into the scene and a new coach, they will struggle a little bit more to hit the ground running. Now, it was a solid win for Shabab Al Ahly, a professional win. Kartabia for me was great during the match. Not only the assists, but all he gave to Shabab Al Ahly, and Shabab Al Ahly starts with the right foot.
Okay, so a win for the defending champions, so important for them to get started with 3 points as they defend their titles. Sharjah will be probably contenders by the end of the season. They'd like to think so as well. They, of course, have Milos Milojevic, the former Al Wasl manager who guided Al Wasl to a multi-cup winning season 2 seasons ago. He's now moved to Sharjah, and he started well with a 3-1 win at Dibba, the other promoted team. Very similar as we're talking to Shabab Al Ahly. So important for them to start with 3 points and demonstrate a high level of play early in the season.
Good victory for Sharjah. And Coach Milos coming to Sharjah, he has a big task because before him was Cosmin, you know, the maestro of the UAE League. And I think that victory was very important because they were looking for that 3 point. They play also very well organized, and the ball possession was on point, and the discipline in the team also was there. And he just arrived in Sharjah, and you could see already that he's trying to put his ideas in place into the team. And I think they did a great result. And the first game of the season, 3 points, that's the most important for them.
He's talking about Milos's ideas that he had at Al Wasl. What are they? What is he going to bring to Sharjah? What have you already seen that he's brought to Sharjah?
A bit more offensive Sharjah in terms of playing style, I would say. And you have from the start the inclusion of a target man, a typical striker, Ray Manaj. It's not only about the goals, for sure. Sharjah is expecting him to score, but mostly his presence on the pitch, the presence inside the box, to have that kind of player inside the box, to draw the attention of the central defenders, will make it easier for the attacking midfielders that Sharjah carries from last season to do their work. I think that was a piece in the puzzle that was missing for Sharjah over the last few seasons. And now with Milos Milojevic, they brought in this player, and I believe their playing style will improve offensively a lot in comparison with the previous season. Let's hope, in terms of course, from the perspective of Sharjah, that their defensive performance also remains quite good. And Firas Ben Arbi was again superb with 1 goal and 1 assist.
You mentioned the words last season there. Last season, Kojo Laba was the top scorer in the Adnoc Pro League. Who's going to bet against him doing it again this season? He started his new campaign with Al Ain with a goal on the opening day. Al Ain beating Al Bataeh by 2-1. I mean, it was quite tight there for a while. Al Bataeh certainly going to be no pushovers this season. But as we said with Shabab Al Ahly and Sharjah, with let's use the big team, shall we say, all they needed to do was to get 3 points, and they've done that.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great game. I really liked that game. A lot of offensive actions. And Alain was started the game with more confidence, great ball position also. But we had one Bataeh that were really confident. They went to Alain, they were looking for that win. And they did their best there, but Alain was really efficient, especially having a striker like Laba Kojo. If you give him the chance, he will finish the action. And I think he did his job, and the team played well, very compact. And Coach Ivic also, you can see that it's not easy. He has a lot of challenges to show and prove, especially when they come back from the World Cup of the club. The impression there was not too great. So I think they know they have a difficult season in front of them. So I'm sure they will work hard to make sure that Alain always stay on top.
It is an interesting thing for Alain because of the FIFA Club World Cup, where they're up against quite literally the biggest teams in the world. Do they bring the experience back, or do they bring fatigue back with them?
Both.
Yeah.
They bring both. But they bring also new players into the new season. Alaba was great. I was there for commentary. Alaba was great. He scored 3 goals. Only one in the end was considered to be legal. But he seems to be starting the season on a very good shape, mentally, physically, etc. Good. I think Alain also missed, obviously, Sofiane Rahimi. It was a huge miss for Alain in this match. I also liked a lot number 14, the central defender Ratnik. I think they have a good signing there because they brought many new defenders, and I think it was a good move from Alain. The right back also offensively, I liked him. Defensively, I need to see better.
Bander also is missing.
Yeah. But the right back Jazik was also good, and he assisted for the goal, etc. So it was an overall a good performance for Alain. I think they have room for improvement, of course. But I think it was a good start, and mostly I believe defensively they will do better this season, and that is important for them.
And again, if you check again the ball possession, 59% for Alain and 40% for Bataeh. That's the confidence that I like with Bataeh. They go to the team to the games to try to win.
Yeah.
And especially playing in Alain and having this type of ball possession. It's really impressive, and it's one team people need to take care because they can make the difference.
Yeah,
many signings for Bataeh during the summer. They basically played also with the same players they had from last season, but number 3 Malek and number 6 Ganiev, I would like to know their statistics in terms of their GPS track because I think they ran miles during the game. It was a very impressive game especially for these 2 players.
Yeah, Ganiev, he's a match winner if Al Bataeh will be relying on him. Okay, let's move on then to Al Wasl. Now, this was our match of the week. We were live pitch side with full coverage of this game at the Zabil Stadium. And you talk about not many changes in terms of transfers for our last match, but for Banias, it's almost a whole new squad. So they were very much feeling their way through this opening match. I think they came out of it okay. I think there was some shoots there of perhaps flowers that were going to bloom later in the season. But for Al Wasl, the other side of it, new manager, perhaps the biggest name manager that's come in over the summer, Luis Castro, Portuguese. There we go, I've said it for you. Thank you.
Obrigado.
He will be very pleased with what he saw, Luis Castro, in that opening 90 minutes.
Definitely. I was impressed with Al Wasl's playing style and chemistry among the players right from the start. The first half was really very good. The second half they dropped a little bit. Somehow it was expected because the first half was playing at such an intensity that the second half would be hard to keep up with. Renato Tapia, number 13, for me was the man of the match. I said it at the studio, and I say it again today. He was the man of the match. I think he's a very intelligent player, great capacity, great experience. I think he will help Al Wasl a lot in that role in the midfield as a deep-lying playmaker.
And the goal, that stunning goal, the second goal there, scored by a defender, the assist from a defender as well, Neto, who was our player of the week. What do you make of that? That changes the dynamic for Al Wasl quite a bit moving forward. When you have defender to defender who can score that kind of goal, the threat level just suddenly goes up. Here's the stats for Hugo Neto. 2 assists in the opening game, passing accuracy, nudging on 90%, successful passes 28, and created 3 chances. 2 of them ended up in a goal.
Yes, Graham, seeing that second goal of Al Wasl, you can see the compatibility between the players. From the left back, crossing to the right back, and perfect goal. The delivery was perfect, and the finishing was great too. So you can see already Luis Castro, the idea is trying to bring into the team. The confidence is there. And I saw during the game a lot of great ball possession. And it was difficult for Al Wasl to find the true balls in the midfield because Benias was in very good position. So what they did, the coach started to use the wings and making the cross and great finishing. And I think Al Wasl compared to last year and this year, the way they started this season is much, much better.
Talk a bit about Banias then. A lot of new players in the squad. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, I think, over the first few weeks of the season for the new manager there. He's brought in a lot of Brazilians, brought in a couple of English players as well. Did you see enough in that opening 90 minutes to not fear for them this season?
Yeah, I think so. In terms of the quality of their signings, I don't have too many doubts. Maybe how the players will adapt. Of course, time is required, and we know time is scarce. It's not just in the UAE, it's in the football world in general. Usually there is not much time or patience to wait for the results to come. But I think the signings were good on Bataeh's side.
First game of the season.
Yeah, different type of signings in comparison with the last seasons. A different approach to the market in the overall. I would say more ambitious approach to the market. So I would say in time, and Bataeh will be a very good side in the Adnoc Pro League this season.
And also the fact is as well that we're talking about Bataeh's players coming in. The Al Wasl new recruits, unusually I'd say for the Pro League, they spent a bit of money at the back. Quite often the money is spent with glamorous new strikers to try and score them goals. But we're talking about Neto, Mahira at the back. They've spent a bit of money there. And that is a new direction that I'm quite pleased to see moving forward with the Pro League.
Yes, Luis Castro, of course, he has a lot of ambition. So he's coming to make a solid team because the coach that was previously there, Milos, he did a great job. So if you want to have a team that is really strong, and because there's so many competitors they have quality players too. So I think it was a great idea, the signing that they did. And Al Wasl is Al Wasl. They're coming for the title. They proved it already from the first game of the season. And I'm sure they will do well this season.
You know, it's a Portuguese coach. And in Portugal, we have this saying that a good attack will win matches, but a good defense will win leagues.
Yeah.
So it was important. And last season, Al Wasl's defensive performance was not quite there, unlike the season before when they were crowned champions. So I think they basically thought about it and brought two good fullbacks we just saw in this match. Adrielson was a sure value, already played for the club a few seasons ago. And I think they did well there also.
As you said, Graham, they invested in defenders. The 2 goals come from the defenders.
There we go.
So
Paid off straight away.
Investment.
What a great investment.
And the second one is a player named Pedro from Portugal. Which
there we go.
It's a happy coincidence. A happy coincidence.
You thought they were shouting Pedro in the stands for you, but no, it wasn't.
It was not me.
Let's move on then to a fascinating, probably the most interesting results and also what's happened since then as well. You're talking about time and patience in modern day football. Well, patience has already run out at Al Jazeera as a first managerial casualty following a fantastic result for Khorfakkan, a 3-2 win at home for Khorfakkan with a local manager as well for Khorfakkan. It's a great story for them as well. But in terms of the match, first, Khorfakkan were good value for this win. I thought they played well and they deserved to get at least something out of that game.
The last preview, when we did the show, I spoke about Khorfakkan as a team that is a challenger. They go for the win. They don't come to hold back or to be scared or afraid not to attack. And I saw in that game a Khorfakkan that was very well also organized and that were taking a lot of risks. They were not scared to go forward, especially playing against a team like Al Jazeera, who they have a great ball possession. If you open the space, it can be really fatal for them. But great game, great organization. I think the coach of Khorfakkan, he could read exactly the game of Al Jazeera because he knows that when Al Jazeera they're attacking, they leave a lot of space in the back. Yeah. And they use the counter-attack to finish the action. And in front, they were very efficient. That's what made the difference.
We'll come back to the manager at Khorfakkan in a second. But first, for Al Jazeera, this was not the plan for the first game of their new season. Also, Amuta, their manager, has now left the club by mutual consent after that game. So we're still waiting to find out who's going to be replacing him. But for them, this is really disappointing. This is absolutely the opposite of how you want to start your season when you want to be title contenders.
I understand what you're saying, but mostly I would praise Khorfakkan's performance, honestly. Yeah. I think credit must be due to Khorfakkan and to Captain Hassan Al Abdouli because even the circumstances at some point were against them. They had one player sent off by minute 65, I think, approximately 73. So the things could have gone in a different way. They were playing against a very strong side. But it's hard to play in Khorfakkan, mostly in this weather. The humidity there is usually quite high, makes it hard for the players to breathe properly. And aside from that, Khorfakkan, the front line, Lorenzi, Tissoudali and Beaumort, I said it on Mercato and I say it again, they can score against any team in the league. They did against Jazeera. As for Jazeera, they had a quiet transfer window. A very quiet transfer window up until this moment. It does not mean that the players that they have signed are not good. I think, from what I know, they are good. But it was a quiet transfer window up until this moment for Jazeera. Now with the managerial change, maybe we'll have other changes also in the squad.
But also, again, I would like to mention again regarding the ball possession. Jazeera 63 and Khorfakkan 36. In Khorfakkan, they were in their field. They had less ball possession. So for Jazeera, you cannot have the 63% of ball possession and not finishing, not be able to score, because it's a great team. It's a team that is also looking for the title. But I saw some couple of mistakes that this is lack of concentration and lack of focus, especially the second game of Khorfakkan and the third game. The third game, because the last minute is very important to have more focus, and because at any time the game can change. And that's what happened. The striker having his back, if you could see on the Piero, I would have shown it. The striker having his back to the goal is not. You should not let him that easily turn and make the shot. And the second goal, you can see the two defenders, the central defender, directly coming out to put the pressure. Then the through ball went, and so I think this kind of mistake, maybe they need to work on it. And but the squad is great, a lot of quality players, and I'm sure maybe the new coach that will come, he will put in place the right team for the challenges.
And as for Khorfakkan, Graham, I believe a trap was set up by the coach to precisely because we all know Jazeera likes to have the possession. It's the playing style for many years. They like to have the ball. They have players who love to have the ball. And it was a bit of a strategical trap by Khorfakkan to attract them, to let them play, and then to hurt them on the counter, where Khorfakkan is extremely dangerous with those three players. Having this said, I think Khorfakkan will need to improve whenever they need to assume the possession, the control of the match, and playing against a medium or low block. Probably a creative midfielder is eventually required there to try to act like a number 10 and find the passing lanes that they will need whenever they will have to play under those circumstances.
Certainly, Khorfakkan are not a team that anyone else will want to play this season. They're going to be interesting to see how well they can do in the league. Let's move on. Al Wahda 2-0 winners away at Ajman. Omar Kherbin, as he has been for a couple of seasons now, the main man for Al Wahda. It's a similar story to Laba at Al Ain, isn't it? When you are the main man and you're the focus, you want to get off to a good start, and he's already got 2 goals in the first 90 minutes. Good, solid performance from Al Wahda to start their season.
What a great start for Wahda, and especially for Omar Kherbin. Quality player, a great experience also. And I like the way how he scored both goals. You need to have enough experience and the intelligence to put the ball, especially if you know that it's the first game of the season. You need that confidence from the beginning already. So having to score a Panenka from the beginning, that's very interesting. And it requires a lot of confidence to do this kind of... he was captain of the team. He showed the example. He was there to push his teammate to the victory. And great start from Al Wahda.
It's still interesting to me, a couple of seasons ago when he was brought into Al Wahda, he was very much second fiddle, wasn't he? And he was almost coming down the wings, and he was trying to get the assists. But since he was told to step up, 18 months ago really, to be the main striker, he's just flourished in that role.
Yeah, he has that versatility. He has the quality. He has the experience here in the UAE. And now he also has Dusan Tadic next to him, the Serbian. I was expecting to see how would Al Wahda play Dusan Tadic if behind Omar Kherbin, open wide on one of the flanks. In the end, he's playing in and around the box, so he will be moving in and around and will be close to Omar Kherbin. And that can be a great partnership for Wahda. They don't have that target man, at least in this match, they did not have that target man inside the box. That will help them at times, but they have two forwards with an amazing capacity to score against any side. That Panenka-style penalty amuses me a lot, but it can cause heart problems to the Wahda fans.
To do that on the first game of the new season, that shows some
And again, if you look at again the ball possession, 52% Ajman, 47 Al-Wahda. This shows how the league this season will be very interesting.
Balanced,
Yeah, because both teams, they were looking for that win, and the statistics are showing. So.
Also more passes for Ajman as well in the game, but still came out with no points at all. Last one then, Al Nasr got a 1-0 win at Kalba. Former Watford and Fulham manager Slavisa Jokanovic is now at the helm at Al Nasr. A narrow win, but he'll have learned a lot, I think, the new boss at Al Nasr, about UAE football, about the Pro League, about his club, and he'll be pleased, obviously, to come away with 3 points.
3 points, the mathematic is clear, it's just 3 points, but in terms of the morale, I think it's a great boost for Al Nasr. Because capturing 3 points in Kalba so early in the season, in August, with the weather there, against a team like Kalba, very hard competitor, mostly at home, of course. It was, as you said, a solid performance by Al Nasr, mostly defensively solid, and that is something that they desperately need to improve in comparison with the previous seasons. Let us see. Milojevic and Agudelo were great. Milojevic, a new signing coming in from Shabab Al Ahly. As for Kalba, they need to improve a little bit more on the offense, I think. But it was, again, a hard-fought match and a great win for Al Nasr.
OK, let's look at our lineup then, our team of the week after match week 1 of the Adnoc Pro League. Chaps, take a look at that. Kaltabia, I think he's going to be in there pretty much every week. We do like to see him. We've got a few new faces coming in as well. Neto has immediately come in to take a place in that lineup. And Hassan Al Abdouli, with his brilliant win for Khorfakkan, gets our manager of the week. Do you like that list? Happy with them?
Yes. There are a couple of players who have been left out, but yes, this is a good list for the first week.
Anyone you'd add?
Zayed Ahmed, the goalkeeper for Wahda. I think it's interesting to see him there, and also Gustavo Alex, he scored the goal for Al Nasr. Kartabia I mentioned already. Tapia is missing, but somebody has to be left out, and already 2 players from Al Wasl there. So yeah, it is a good squad, and you can look at it and see that there is young talent merged with more experienced players.
And a good spread over quite a few teams as well. Often when we do these teams of the week, it can only be like 2 or 3 clubs, but there's a good spread there from a lot of clubs.
Definitely, they all deserve to be there. They did a great week, especially the first game of the season. They all deserve to be there. And the great job from coach Hassan Al Abdouli. He put the great tactic there to beat Al Jazeera. It's not an easy game usually when you play against Al Jazeera. I think he understands, he knows, and he did very well. Yeah.
Well, we were pitchside last week for match week 1 at the Zabil Stadium for that win for Al Wasl. This week we are going to be in Sharjah. That is our live match of the week. We will be there for Sharjah at home against Al Jazeera. Not predictions, but thoughts ahead of that one from what you've seen in match week 1. What are we going to expect on Friday night?
Expect the unexpected. A new coach on the Jazeera side. It seems like Sharjah has lost Kyle Lucas for a few weeks. Also a new coach with Sharjah, even though already from the first round. So stay tuned, because it's going to be intriguing for sure.
And for Al Jazeera, obviously, we don't know who the new permanent coach is going to be there, but we would expect to see some changes anyway, perhaps with formation from that loss against Khorfakkan.
I'm pretty sure that the player, they know the situation of the club now. It's not easy losing the coach from the beginning of the season, because he was there with them in the training camp. So a new coach coming into the team, it will take time to build again a new team. But the players mentally, they need to be ready, because they know how important, first of all, it is to get the first 3 points of the season. Then second, to have a great start. So it's important for them to be ready mentally, physically, and do their best to try to not already from the beginning make Al Jazeera lose 2 games in a row. It will not be nice for the team. So I'm pretty sure they're aware of that. It might be a very good game to watch.
So match week 2 coming up. Sharjah versus Al Jazeera is our match of the week. We will be there live. Banias at home against Kalba is the earlier kickoff at 6 o'clock. Both teams obviously looking to get their first points on the board. Those games take place on Friday. Then on Saturday we have 3 games. Al Dhafra and Dibba, can they get their first points since being promoted? It's going to be tricky. Al Dhafra at home to Al Wasl and Dibba at home to Al Ain. They both kick off at 6. And then big game in the evening at 8:30 at the Al Nayan Stadium. Al Wahda at home against the champions Shabab Al Ahli, both of course winning their first games. The match week comes to a close on Sunday. Al Bataeh against Khorfakkan. That will be a good match to watch. There's a lot of talent and a lot of grit and determination in both of those sides. That will be good. And finally, bringing match week 2 to a close, Al Nasr at home against Ajman, kicking off at 8:30 on Sunday evening. That is it from us. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We will be back with you live in Sharjah for our match of the week, Sharjah against Al Jazeera on Friday night. But for now, from everybody here at Final Score, it's goodbye.